This is Mentally Dope. Join us, Charmaine and Jasmine, two Black licensed therapists, as we build a bridge between mental health and Black culture. Come on, it's gonna be dope. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. We are staying mentally dope over here. We hope you are too. Just a reminder, we are everything at the intersection of mental health and Black culture. I'm Jasmine.
I'm Charmaine.
And y'all, we are going to talk about a thin line between love and hate. We got to talk about it. You know, I know y'all remember this movie. If you don't, go back and watch it. There's so much here.
It was a lot.
There's so much here.
It was a lot.
So, okay.
And I feel like that everybody remembers this movie for certain specific things. But
Yeah.
as always, we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to go to the things beyond just somebody beating themselves with oranges.
Right. We overanalyzing. We're digging deep. We're taking it seriously when none of it was serious. So let's go. Quick overview. What the heck was this movie about? Because listen, it looks one way on the poster.
Yeah.
And it went another way in the movie theater, okay?
Yeah.
Please understand. So, homeboy Darnell, or D, what does mom call him? D, something cute.
Yeah. What did she call him?
She's like, don't call me that. But anyway, so this is a player, right, who works at a club and is, trying to be a businessman and get his life together. He has a lot of women, and one of these nights that he's walking around just living life, just doing his thing, he meets a woman.
He meets a conquest.
He meets a conquest who he chases and pursues, and comes to find out she ain't what he thought she was. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Yes.
Because technically she did become honest about who he was. He just chose not to listen.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
I mean, again, you meet people for the first time, you bring the representative. But at some point, the representative falls away and people just see what they want to see.
Yes.
Versus seeing the person in front of them.
Yes.
So anyway, it goes crazy. It gets a little crazy, single white female, but single Black female, a little obsessed, folks trying to live or die and things like that. And it gets wild.
Yeah.
Where are we starting today? Because
okay, so
there's so much.
Let's start with, for me, let's start with Brandy. Brandy's character, who is Lynn Whitfield, who, as always, y'all know, Lynn Whitfield, and I saw a meme about this the other day. Lynn Whitfield done played multiple different roles, but she never played broke. And baby,
that's what I was.
I need to Google.
Always bougie.
Yeah, I needed to Google and figure
Always.
this out, because I was like, has she ever played a broke role? Because I'm not sure that she has.
I never seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe she has. I ain't seen it.
Yeah, maybe she has, but whatever. And even in the movies that we've watched on other shows, she ain't never been. So we got Lynn Whitfield, who is bad and bougie, as always. Rich, got her stuff together, and she runs across somebody who is, I don't know, and maybe I'm biased. I feel like he really didn't have it all together. Not even he was trying to pretend like he had it together. My man was buying his clothes out of an alleyway.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say in that decade, it wasn't all that uncommon.
Her clothes didn't come out of no alleyway.
I mean, comparatively, yes, but I'm just saying.
And
from that neighborhood, that's where you'll get the clothes from. That's just how it goes.
That's what I'm saying. But when she took a hold of him, she took him shopping. That man was out getting tailored and getting tailored suits. Like you said, he had it, but he ain't have it like that.
Oh, definitely.
So
not based on what we think her caliber of man might be.
Yes, but I think that also based on what he was representing. I think that based on
both.
what he was pursuing, they showed the other women that he was dating. For that, for those women, I think that he did. He fit the standard of that. He could put them on the VIP list at the club, and he drove a Jeep, and
he drove a Bronco. We rode it to death back in that.
Literally.
Okay.
Sorry, y'all. I still can't fool with the Bronco.
Anyway, so yeah, there is a division, and you can tell there's a divide between them too.
Yeah.
And even when they meet, There's a lot of questions that need answers in this
And
video.
we'll get
for
to that
me.
in a second.
We will. But even when they meet, it's already friction.
Because for one, we see her and we see this, and we discussed this in another movie, Point Justice, I think. We see her and we see the exterior. She is beautiful. You can tell that she has money. I mean, she's clearly being picked up by her car service, by the limo. But she is a don't talk to me. I am unapproachable.
Listen.
Keep away. And then you see him on the other hand. Women are toys, kind of, sort of. Like, they're just disposable things that I can play with and I can use. And he has a best friend, Bobby Brown, T. And T is the same way. They just see women as objects, like things I can conquest, things that I can get. They see her and they objectify her. We don't care anything else. They just see she's beautiful. She is going to be something that we can get, and let's make a bet. I want to bet that you could not get her.
That, and they have a whole scheme going. You know how, like, when they first meet her, you got the one guy who come in and be like rude and rough, and then you got the other one that's like, oh, honey, don't worry about it. I got it. I'm a gentleman. And even from that interaction, she is like, absolutely not. What are you doing here? You are beneath me. What are we even doing? Right? Like, that's the interaction. And then, like, they make the bet, right? Which I don't even know that he's that motivated by the bet. Like, I don't know that he's really thinking about it like that. I think he more is like, for his ego, he wants to say that he's done it.
Yes.
Not that he wants to, like, prove it to everybody. It's for him.
But I don't know, because we also see that when he won the bet, the first thing that he did do was call.
He did.
Like, didn't even leave the house. You called to say that you had
His
won the
phone,
bet.
somebody else's phone.
Yeah. Yes, that part as well. But okay, anywho.
Neither here nor there.
So yeah, I think that so we have these two individuals. We have Brandy, who from first glance you can just see that she's rich, she's potentially rude, she's guarded, don't really know what she's guarding.
She's rude. She all the way rude.
Yeah, don't really know what she's guarding, but you know that there's something there.
There's something.
For us, we can say, and we have said before, that there's always layers to the attitude. But like on the out surface, we just see the guardedness. And then we see Darnell on the other hand, we see him in the midst of his mourning. He then went through like 4 different women's houses. Like, he's just keeping them all there because for him it's just fun. It's a game.
Right.
He even said that, what did he say? What is his quote? He was like, I figured that if God wanted all women to be happy, he would have made all men like me. Like, for him, it was just like he was the blessing. I'm out here blessing people.
He is the prize.
Yes, I'm the prize. I'm out here giving my prize to everyone, and they should be happy with that. Like, But we also see that Darnell had, as most people do, there were some off limits to that. His sister was an off limit. She couldn't be with a guy like that. His mother.
Talk about it.
Yes, his mother was a little bit of an off limit, and then there was the girl that he actually had feelings for, and she was an off limit as well too.
So listen, I feel like this is a thing that kind of happens with everyone, but like more so with men for some reason. There's like this like weird duality. Like, I can show up and be the player and maybe even be like a little misogynist, but the women in my life, I can't do that with, and I don't want anyone else to do that to them.
Yeah.
And like, it's weird how like people miss it. They don't really get it. Of just like, you're so protective over your baby sister, and because you don't want men to treat her the way that you treat other women. But
that you're also treating someone else's sister.
Right, exactly.
And someone else's daughter. And someone, like, yeah.
Exactly. And there's no like concept of that. Like, oh, maybe I should change the way that I show up. It's just like, no, this is how I'm going to be. And like, people should be different than me. I don't get that. That's strange to me.
I don't know.
And very common.
I think that, I don't know. I've also been told by people before, which I think is also very whatever, that like maybe they should have older brothers or dads looking out for them in that way. And if she doesn't, then it's her choice, which is not good. But I have heard that before.
It's all a problem. It's all a problem, right? And like he loves his mom. Like, he adores his mom literally so much.
But you also see that he says too that there's a level of, which to me is disrespect. He gives out, his mother says that he gives out his mom's number to the women. To the women that he no longer wants to deal with, he gives his mother's number so his mother can deal with it. He doesn't have to deal with it. There's like, for him, it's like the whole idea of not really wanting to truly be the bad guy. So I'm going to tell you I'm busy. I'm going to give you my mom's number, and then my mom will tell you to leave me alone.
But let's talk about it for a minute. This is getting me kind of excited because I don't know if you noticed this, but a lot of like player guys and stuff like that, they really struggle with being assertive and having boundaries. Like that is kind of like the underlying thing because they don't like to just tell women straight up, this is how I feel. Like, I know this is weird, but like I had a group, several groups, but groups with like teenage boys, and I'd be like, why would y'all rather lie to someone or like go through this big thing than to just tell somebody straight up you're not interested, you don't want it? And what they would always say is like, I just don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't like it. You know, like I don't want to make somebody sad.
But
and I'm like, what?
Because there's something very, like you said, it's the ego. There's the ego of you wanting me, of you adoring me, all of those things. And if you're mad at me, I don't really get that. So I don't really want you to be mad at me. I don't really want to deal with you, but I don't want you to get mad at me.
But how does that like really go together with like a manly man who is supposed to have all these women, but you don't have the ability to draw boundaries? And I'm like, not even being in judgmental. I don't think that we give boys and men the tools to do this very well. Right? Like, I think the way that we model for them a lot of times
I think that think that it also creates the negative toxic cycle because you also have women who feed into that as well.
I agree.
Which is how the cycle gets created of us being in this type of relationship that just continues to go on, which I guess in this point, this is what Darnell was used to, and it worked for him. We even see that when we introduce Mia, which is Regina King, the woman that he actually did have feelings for. And when he asked her, do you trust me? And she was like, I trust you to be who you're going to be. And he was like, what does that mean? And she was like, I literally trust you just to be this person.
Right. I know who you are. Yeah. I've seen it.
And I think that for him, it was a little bit offensive, but it was honest. Like, I don't trust you, or I don't think that you're going to be anything else other than who you are. And this is who you are.
And you also see like how men can categorize women of like the ones that they just want to play with and the ones that they take seriously. They treat them different. They interact with them different.
But sometimes I think that for some of them, and then in this particular movie, there was also an avoidance of the one. Because I need to treat her a little bit more delicately, and if I don't have the space to do so, I just need to kind of sort of avoid it a little bit.
Well, I mean, that brings us to a point that we have. Like, can we talk about what insecurity looks in different people? Like, what it looks like in different people? Because I think men tend to show insecurity a little bit different than women do.
How so?
And I think even like in that example that he knew that he wanted Mia, right? Like they were childhood friends, and she was his childhood crush. Like they were literally knew each other from the jump, liked each other, but kind of never said that. And he pursued everybody else except her. He never pursued her seriously.
So you thought that was an insecurity because he knew that he could not be the person that she needed him to be?
Maybe so. And maybe it's like, I'm afraid of a thing that I really want, right? Like, I'm afraid of what could happen if I do get in this relationship with someone I love. Like, then I have to be vulnerable, and I have to share myself. And it actually could be love.
But then also the fact that, like, she actually has the ability to hurt me.
Absolutely, exactly.
I can potentially hurt other people, but it's different to be in a relationship with somebody who actually has the potential to hurt you.
But like, you're in control of the situation, right? When you got a whole bunch of girls and you can come and go as you please, and you don't have to worry about what they have to say. That's the control, right? Like, I get to protect my heart, and I get to decide when you come in or when you come out. And it's like shallow relationships with a lot of different people versus a deep relationship with one person.
Yeah. Right?
Putting all your eggs into that basket. And like, I feel like it's a thing. It's not all men, of course, but like, if men have securities, you can tell in their relationships, it comes out. That really is the case for everyone, but you can definitely tell here. He had some things to work out, and he kind of used women to work that out.
Or not work it out.
Right. Exactly. To not deal with the problem. Yeah. Definitely. Like you said, the avoidance.
It definitely sounded like a level of avoidance. And then we see on the flip end, well, on the same token, he chose a best friend who was in the same bark. I think, what video was this we talked about? That when we're not dealing with something, we don't always like being around people who are dealing with their stuff. I want to be around somebody who matches me in that same energy. Because if I come to you and you tell me what I don't want to hear, I don't really want to hear that. I want somebody who's going to like match my foolishness.
Right.
Because this is the state that I'm in. And so therefore he chose somebody to match him in that way. He chose somebody who also fed the ego, because like it made him feel like, oh yeah, they're also looking at me too. I can brag to them about these things, and it's cool to all of them, and it worked.
Yep.
Until it didn't.
Right.
And then we see Brandy on the other end.
Yeah. What does insecurity look like for her?
Defensiveness.
Yeah.
This is definitely a level of, like we said, that we knew, even like first seeing it, that there's layers to the attitude. We don't know.
Always.
We don't know what has happened to her or what's going on, but you can tell that there's layers to the attitude and to everything that's been going on with her. And she shows up and she's rich, she's guarded, she has this defensiveness.
She's powerful.
Yes.
Like she's made it that way.
Yes.
She has lots of people under her. She's running a lot of
which
stuff.
was also interesting too. Did you notice when he actually did go to her job, because he goes to great lengths to pursue her, which is a personal thing that always like pisses me off, but whatever. When people just go through great lengths to pursue somebody and they're playing with them. But he goes to like great lengths to pursue her, and when he gets to her job, all of the people under her are men. So it's like, she also has this powerful thing, and I want to be powerful over men.
Absolutely.
All of her drivers, all of her assistants, the person in her office sitting there taking notes, all guys. And she is, I don't want you to talk to me. Leave me alone. And she is stern on continuing to push him away. Just leave me alone. I don't know what kind of game you're playing. I don't want to play. Just leave me alone.
From the jump.
Yes.
And to a fault. Like, if somebody treated me the way that she treated him, I don't know why you would look back. So I don't even know. I think probably there is some ego, but also some insecurity for him. Because if somebody talked to me the way that she talked to him and literally had me dragged out of somewhere, like had security drag me out of somewhere, I'm not still pursuing you. I'm not still checking for you. Like,
but like you said, I think it was more of the ego bruise. Like, no, like if anything, we saw that in Delivers from Eva. After LL Cool J saw her cuss the guy out and talk bad to the guy, he was like, oh yeah, I want to try that. Like, I want to make sure, I want to see, can I get this?
I mean, that's a little bit of ego, but I feel like some people like that. Like, they're into that. They're like, ooh, talk crazy to me. But something was happening here that was weird. I was just like, why is he interested about this girl who is literally talking crazy to him?
But I think it was more or less that I don't want to sound like I'm going to be defeated. I'm going to conquer this. I'm going to wear her down. And
but
he does.
I would argue that there's insecurity at the root of that at the same time. Yeah? Yeah. So the thing with, I was going to call her Eve, but I'm going to call her Brandy. I always think of it as like, I like to use animals as an example. Like, you know how cats can be super aggressive when they're scared? Like, I think it's kind of like that. Like, they get big, they start like making noises, they start pawing at you because they want you to leave them alone because they're scared. And I feel like it's the same in this situation with her. She's scared because like men represent something for her. It feels really scary. And at the end, she's going for the jugular.
Yes. But like you said, out of fear, it's definite protection, which I think that's something for all of us to recognize, that when we have these behaviors are protecting us for a reason, and to recognize what it is that they're protecting us from and why. So why am I doing what I'm doing in order to protect me, and what am I protecting me from? And so we see as the movie goes on, he continues to pursue her.
Okay, but she doing all that. Why did she show up at the club? Why did she show up at the club after she said, absolutely not, don't ever talk to me again?
Because I think that it was also the point, too, of, like, she was intrigued. I think that, like, potentially with her demeanor, who knows how often she's actually, actually been impressed. Or, like, actually been pursued. Don't know. But there was something about him that intrigued her. So she comes in her Sunday's best or prom dress that she had on, and she sashays around and swirls. And
what is this?
At the Chocolate City Club.
But I don't see. We get to another lane when she talking about
I don't come to this neighborhood. This is beneath me. And then I'd be like, now you're doing too much. Like, you're going too far. It's one thing to be like, I don't like you. It's another thing to be like, oh, the ghetto. Why would we go? I'm not here for it. None of it.
Hey, that's who she was, though. We saw where Brandy lived. It was a whole different area. Whole different area code. Okay, so this is one of the things I think is like the struggle. One of the things I was telling Jasmine about that I think was like a struggle that I think I see a lot of people like do. Like not saying that I have never did it either. When we think that we can remove the thing that we are struggling with in order to make things better. So in this particular situation,
I get the logic.
Yes.
I get the logic.
Oh,
Oh, there's a
100%.
thing that hurt me. I'm just gonna run away.
100%. So in this particular movie, Brandy has issues with relationships, has issues with men or whatever, and she just says, I'm going to avoid men. If I just avoid men, life will be okay.
Did you believe her story about what happened?
Yeah.
Some part of it made me think that she changed it. Like, maybe that's not exactly what happened.
The only thing that didn't make sense to me was how she was out. So either you didn't get caught or because you would still been in jail. But anywho, she says that she killed her ex.
Because he was abusive.
And also because he was cheating on her.
Right. And something about it just made me be like, were you saying I killed him because he was abusive so that it looks better? And then later she was like, well, he cheated and, he deserved to die. So I didn't know if he was really abusive or she was just like.
Or maybe she said, I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But anywho, her feelings got hurt. Her feelings got hurt.
We got things going on. Because again, somebody cheating on you, I don't think is the excuse for like killing them. But abuse is a different thing now. Now, I'm not saying like we should be killing people or anything like that. But I'm also saying there's a difference.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened in that relationship, but it was enough to where she was severely hurt. Yeah. Don't even know if he was the first one. I don't even know. Like it could have had deeper roots. But she mentioned this one. The last relationship that made her say, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. So
whatever the rule was. I'm not sure what the rule was.
So this is the hard thing. Removing the thing does not equate healing.
Right.
It just equates avoidance.
A man hurt me. I'm not going to interact with men at all unless I have the power and the control in the relationship. With the assumption that that's going to solve it. And it's not ever going to solve it because she didn't do the work. She didn't be like, this is what happened. This is why it happened.
But you think about, in context, how we see this in so many other like avenues. But that's why I don't have friends. So I'm just gonna avoid. I'm gonna avoid friends. That's why I don't do social media. I'm just gonna get off social media. That's why I don't like this long list.
That's why I don't go to church.
Yeah.
See, that's why I don't even go to church no more because they be doing that and all this stuff.
So you avoid.
Like, is that why? It's because somebody hurt your feelings. Legitimately, right? It's not for nothing. But you didn't want to deal with what happened, so you just stopped.
But here's the hard part about the same thing that we see with Brandy. Guess what? Because life is going to continue to happen. This thing is going to come back.
And what happened when it came back?
All of those feelings came right back with
She's
it.
over here acting like a fool, like literally just.
She
literally
couldn't function.
Shaking.
She couldn't function. She had the knife in her hand. Like she felt it all come right back. Because that's what happens to us in these situations. We do not heal by just avoiding the thing that bothered us.
No, even though that feels like the logical step. And that's different from like removing yourself so that you can heal, right? That's different of just being like, okay, I need to step away. I need to take a break and do all of this so I can get back to it. But because you've been hurt in relationships, the answer is not to not ever be in a relationship.
Yes.
Do the work. Do the work around it so that you can. Like, just do it.
Yeah, which also brings up too, when you don't do the work, it makes it harder when you try to step back out there. Because that's what we also saw too, that there were also red flags from Darnell. Even though he was pursuing her the way that he was pursuing her, there was some red flags. And she was not able to sensibly cut off with those red flags. Even when the man,
she cut him off, she just didn't do it right.
Yes, but even when that man told her directly into his face, I don't think that we should be together anymore. She at first got pissed off and was like, fine, okay, whatever. And then showed up the next day at this man's house burning bacon.
She was burning it. You was upset because it was burning.
Yes. She burnt the bacon and then said, I didn't know whether or not she wanted her pancakes like dark or fluffy. What?
I have questions.
What?
I have so many questions.
So then she goes into almost like overfunction mode because she could not figure out how to deal with the pain that had come back up of, I need him to be with me. What can I do to make him, let me go make him breakfast.
Yeah.
Let me go break into his house and make him breakfast because I need him to know that he loves me. You said that you loved me, so I need you to love me.
So listen, okay, there's a lot going on here. I just can't even
but like don't get it twisted
so
though.
much.
But don't get it twisted. Like not breaking into somebody's house, but let's be honest. There's certain,
but we're talking about attachment. We're talking about trauma. Like there's layers here.
But let's be honest
really
about the
happens for
fact that we as male and female, because I see some guys do this too, that when you get into that position of, I don't know what to do, I'm getting overwhelmed, they're going to leave me, let me go out and do something. That's how folks' phones get called 1,500 times. That's how folks be sitting outside people's houses. Like, hold on, like fix it. Make it stop.
Yeah.
And then we end up being a little irrational.
Yes. And so she said that in like the human way. I'm going to get a little like mental healthy on you. But like that is an attachment thing, right? If somebody, there's lots of different, not lots, but there's different attachment styles, right? And her attachment style would be anxious.
Yeah, it was definitely anxious
right?
attachment.
And so that also means like you go to your partner to help regulate you. Right? And people do that by like calling them a whole bunch of times, trying to be next to them, like putting in a lot of bids to be close.
To validate me.
I
and
need
make me feel
you
secure.
to be okay and tell me that I'm okay.
Yes.
Right? Like that is
This
anxious
is the
attachment.
whole, I'm going to call you 5 times today just for you to tell me that you love me and that we're still okay.
Right. I literally, like this week, there was some therapist post a video of couples therapy, right? That show on Showtime. And what they were talking about is the man was like, look, I'm tired. I'm frustrated. She calls me literally 20 times a day just to talk, just to check on me. Right. And just to check in. And I'm busy. I'm at work. Like I can't do everything. And when I get home, she don't want to say nothing. She don't want to talk to me because she's upset because, she feels rejected because of all of that. And like, all of that is attachment at play. It's all of our attachment stuff coming out. And like, if we don't do the work around that, then it's going to keep looking like that. Because what happened is like, she put in the bids for attachment. He rejected it. And she goes, I can't do this. I can't function like this. You either will love me or you will die.
Yes.
Right? Which is extreme. And I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. It's extreme.
We do, but it does happen.
It happens. But I think that everybody wrestles with attachment, and even on like the lower end of the spectrum, like Charmaine said, that might look like calling people a whole bunch of times. That might be like, hey, I know you just told me this, but say it again. Validate me one more time. Or I even can't stand that you're upset with me because then you could leave or something can change, and so I'm just gonna like do anything you say. Like there's tons of levels to this.
Yes, it was the episode, I don't know if you ever watched Grownish, when it's Yara Shahidi's character is like first going on the date with Aaron's character, and like after the date she sent him like a slew of like 100 text messages, but they were like all like, so yeah, that's cool, but wait a minute, what if it's not? So like I was thinking like, if we had kids and they were like, ooh, but like no, the names would be like, no, wait a minute, no, is that crazy? Never mind, how about I do this? And it's like the whole like like downward spiral of like, oh wait, no, fix it, hey, are you there, can you come back please? Like like the whole like, yes,
Horrid. Like
yes,
it's not even, it's just, you can tell that you have not worked some stuff out.
Yeah.
And you like give it to that other person instead of taking it for yourself and working through it.
But even like on a smaller scale, because I know that I did this before, you text one of your friends and you like tell them like, hey, you hurt my feelings when you did this, and then like you see the little ... and like
oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
just kidding, we're fine.
Never mind.
Not meant for you. delete.
2 days later, are we still friends? Are we still good? I know you said we were good, but I wanted to really make sure that we were good. Absolutely.
Yes, but it's like that. But then, of course, this is to the 10th degree of the whole idea of like, no, because this person blatantly said, I don't want to be around you. And now you go into full-blown panic mode of, no, I need to fix this. Of either I need you, like, you need to say that you love me again, or I don't need you to love anybody ever again.
Right. And she didn't want to
Ever
yeah, but she didn't want to open that box back up. And I think that people have if the reason that people leave and they do the avoidance thing is because they cannot regulate that feeling. They don't like the closeness or the lack of closeness, and they can't regulate it, so they close the box.
We also see too in this situation is that it doesn't fix it, because let's just say even with the last situation, she was in a relationship, she loved the man, he did not love her the way that she wanted to be loved, she killed him. That did not fix the situation. Guess what? He's not loving anybody else, but he also still does not love you, and he's not here.
So you still didn't fix the issue, which is
so we're not fixing it. So the same thing would have happened all over again with Darnell. We're going to kill him, and guess what? He still does not love you. Mm-hmm. So we're still back in the same situation of just like, I'm sitting here like, nobody love me?
And you don't get the thing that you want, which is to be in a relationship and be loved.
Yes. But in those moments when we go complete overwhelmed mode, that's not how we're thinking rationally.
No. We're not doing anything rational.
No.
In
that whole part of the brain is shut off.
Literally. There's science to it. It's not working. It's not functioning. No. It's not lit up. Okay, it's not lit up on the scan. But
which is how people do those things. We're not rationalize those things at all, because it's not like anything to like justify, but literally
an explanation versus an excuse.
Yes.
We can explain why something's happening without excuses.
Education regarding the fact that when any of us get into those overwhelmed states, there are parts of our brain that literally shut off, and it does not allow us to do executive functioning and thinking in that matter. Mm-hmm. And
making good decisions
happens. No. So for some of us, are not good decisions are, I'm going to call them 5 times. For some of us, it goes a little bit deeper into the other side.
Yeah. And if you have trauma, if you come from a place of trauma, that part of your brain is even smaller. Mm-hmm. It's even less, that muscle is not worked. And you can grow it. I'm not saying it's impossible. That is the work of therapy. But if you see that she's been through something and therefore her reasoning skills and her decision making are bad, that's the case for a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And I also think he's on the other side of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. I think he was also avoidant and doing his little insecure thing. Mm-hmm. He was like, I don't want to deal with this real love and what that might be, so I'm going to be avoidant and do these other things that I know are not going to be long term.
Yeah, which was the hard part though, because we see these two combine in the exact moment
explosion
that he tells Brandy that he loves her, that they start this situationship turn relationship that she thought what was it, the same night, he leaves Brandy, goes home to Mia, and him and Mia are let's make this work. So in the same day,
trifling. He's trifling.
In the same day, Brandy didn't even get a full breath in. She drops him off. He takes the limo to go to Mia's house. Him and Mia are together, and then he never shows back up for Brandy, and all things fall apart for Brandy.
Birthday.
Yes, and when everything fell apart.
How important it was.
So once again, she was open. She was vulnerable. She told him in advance, I don't want you to hurt me. She told him in advance, okay, I killed somebody. She told him in advance that she had issues, and he was still He pursued it, and then didn't think that it was going to be a big deal when he cut her off. Quickly. While he still had her limo in the suit.
Her clothes.
Yeah, in the suit that she had just bought him less than 2 hours ago.
So let's talk about why it's important for you to do the work. Because let's talk about how it's important for you to do the work. I'm not saying it's okay that anybody die over romantic issues.
No.
But I also know, don't you ever in your life take my car and my clothes and go to somebody else's house?
Stop playing with people.
Them?
Yes.
With the stuff I gave you?
Stop playing with
me.
People.
Don't play with me like that.
Yes. Do not play with people.
Don't play with
me. Listen to people.
I'm saying, okay. So I think for a lot of people, after you've been through a bad relationship, it is hard to feel like you can find a partner that is trustworthy and that's good. It feels like I'm not really good at picking people. This is really, really hard. But again, how annoying are we to say, do the work? Because the answer is in the work, right?
But I think that also on both sides, many people I've talked to who have literally said, well, I told him or I told her that I struggled with this and they just didn't listen to me.
But that's what I'm saying. But you didn't do the work because something in you didn't listen to what this person said.
Yes.
Right? You're seeing what you want to see. And they both saw what they wanted to see. She wanted someone, at first she said, absolutely not. But then she said, well, he's still around, so he's got to be for me. Right? Not missing the fact that he got tons of women. He showed you who he was. He didn't hide it that much. He did a little bit, but you could have asked around if you were serious, right? You could have spent time getting to know him.
That was a thing too. That I was like, I don't like that for Brandy to have been as smart as she was. Did she not do? I mean, maybe this. I mean, like, this was the '90s, but But
it's not even that. You know, a lot of smart people who, when it comes to relationships, do not make smart decisions.
Yeah,
because it like triggers that part of you that's real emotional and does not make good decisions. She might have been a bad businesswoman, but when it comes to like that stuff that she was avoiding, she didn't have a lot of practice because she literally killed the last one. So like, we didn't have a lot of time to practice.
Yeah.
And so like, it can be hard to pick somebody that you feel like is a good choice. And you could tell for her, she was like willing herself to be like, let's just do it. Like, let's just be all in and like be okay. Let's get over all of this.
Yeah, let's trust him and it'll be fine.
Instead
she
of
was even saying these things to herself in the mirror as she was talking to herself and her self-talk, which was not the most healthiest. But that's what she was saying in those moments. It's fine. It's gonna like
good. Yeah,
all these things.
Instead of literally looking and saying, what do I want in a partner? Like, does this person possess what I want in a partner? Like, how does a person show me that they have what they possess? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And instead of that, we just went for it. And that was a problem because he told her several things that she didn't listen to. And the reverse. She also told him several things he didn't listen to. Why do you think he did not listen to her?
Because he was tunnel visioned. I think that he was definitely tunnel visioned. It was an ego thing. It was, she was bad. I mean, like, so like, no, now I've got the trophy piece or whatever. I'm saying I got her.
She was bad. I was like, well, what'd she do?
No, she was bad. Like she was fine. Like, she was rich and she was willing to spend her money on him. So, I mean, because like we said, he had it, but he didn't have it like that. So the fact that she was willing to spend his money on him, buying him things that he couldn't buy, taking him places that he couldn't, like, saving him gas, driving him around, all these things like that. And then, not only the house that she lived in, you can be out there just like laying in her pool overlooking the ocean. Like, he was getting a lot of benefits from her without actually knowing her. He didn't even want her. He wanted the benefits of her.
I agree with that. I will say that. First of all, I don't think that goes with the conversation that they had when they were riding horses. Like, he really seemed like he was mad about that. Like, I'm trying to love you. Like, he wasn't. Like, he not was that, lying. But we know why he did that. But I will also say, if he knew that Brandy was going to show up the way that she showed up later in the movie and literally harm the woman that he actually had feelings for, or ruin his car, or ruin his reputation, why didn't he look for the signs for that? I understand the benefits, but he still only saw what he wanted to see because she told him in so many ways.
But I think that you can tell when these things started to happen, he was completely blindsided. He acted like he was completely blindsided.
Well, he acted that way, but I don't think that he was completely blindsided.
I think that you have a lot of people, and we've seen people in these tragic situations, that when the person starts acting out in these ways, they're like, I didn't know that they was gonna do this. You didn't expect him to show up at your job every day? Like, you didn't expect him to, like, be out there? Or her out there tearing up your car? Like, no, I didn't think she was going to do all that.
But again, what are you missing? What are you not paying attention to because you're so focused on what you can get from this person versus what they're actually giving you?
Sometimes, to me, it really sounded like he thought, and I've seen other people think this too, that they think that they're invincible.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the case, right? Like, even one of the girlfriends that he had, I don't remember her name. What was her name?
Which one?
Not Peach. The one with the attitude who was the hairdresser.
Gwen. No. Gwen was Richard.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. But the one who would go off on him all the time, he was like, look, I've been doing this. I know how to do this. Women will get mad. They might see a car, but I can deal with it.
Yeah, he was used to that. He wasn't used to Brandy. That was a whole different level for him.
But I'm also saying, if he was paying attention, we could have seen some writing on the walls. Maybe not. Throw a radio in the bathtub situation, but like, we could make some.
But that's why I said that's the hard
conclusions.
part. I think that there are certain times when we can rationalize now that, like, yeah, if you're in a relationship and this man has a hard time controlling his temper or yells at you, that there may be some steps going towards something else that may be able to happen. But I think that you have a lot of people who don't see those things that way. If her eye starts twitching every single time you mention, having to go somewhere, that ain't no good sign. But here we are.
Yeah, I'm not 100% with you, but let's see. I'm just saying, if you meet someone and they come at you, that you don't even know this person from anybody, with the level of vitriol that she came at him, you got to know there's something in there that she's trying to protect that maybe I don't need to be a part of, right? Like, I don't even need to be closer to that.
You would
So
think.
again, he missed it because it wasn't just like, oh, go away, I don't want to talk to you. She was like, you scum, you poor, get away from me. And I was like,
I don't know.
okay, we're doing something different.
That's why I said you would think, and I would agree with you that, to me, rationally that makes sense. But I have witnessed a lot of people.
No, but I'm
who
saying
just
I
don't.
get why they don't, but I'm also saying there's something going on there that they missed it.
Oh, 100%.
Like, there's something going on with them that, like,
That should not have been missed.
they
was.
missed it and they're not doing it. Even like the scene before they were gonna have sex. The way, if somebody comes to you and acts the way that she was acting before that, you know what, I'm gonna step away from this because you are having a hard time. Like, this means something to you that it does not mean to me.
No,
we need
because we even see in the scene right after, which still pisses me off, that this man went downstairs at her house, got on her phone.
Looked in her fridge.
Yes, was in her refrigerator, got on her phone, called his best friend to say, I hit it. She comes downstairs and she's like, what did you hit?
No, I'm done.
And he was like, a baseball game. And she's like, oh, home run. Like, ha, 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 ha. What?
And then you can see the attachment happening right then because she's like,
Yes.
come back to the bed right now.
Yes.
You cannot leave. You cannot come out of my sight. And then, like, from then.
Yes.
Or even him trying to go to sleep and she got his hand right here. He's like, I need to go. And she's like, you're not going anywhere. Right? Mm-hmm. We had signs.
I thought it was a carnival.
Exactly. No, those were red flags. Okay.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And you like,
they were like landmines all over the floor. And
right.
It's just,
which, again, no judgment. Like, been here, been there, done it. Okay, everybody goes through this, but like,
I ain't killed nobody,
we're trying to put we're not killing anyone. I want to say that for the record, but I'm saying we all like
your face.
No, I just want to be clear about that. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't try to kill anyone. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Never. Okay.
But all that to say is like, I think everybody goes through this process in conversation.
Yes, that's why I said, and also like you said too, like I definitely know that I have some avoidant attachment behaviors and how those can look in those different ways on smaller scales, but still in that sense of like having that overwhelmed feeling of like, whoa, how do I fix this? Like, no, like, you know, wait, I can fix this, like, all of those things. And then, so yeah, it's no judgment. What we're trying to do here, as always, is stay mentally dope by educating so that we can figure out how to heal and not repeat these cycles.
Right, and help you be mentally dope because everybody been there.
Yes, on small scales and please on the bigger scales because we do not
Everybody
need the violence.
There. Look, I mean, listen. I'm not telling you to answer this question. I'm just going to say it in a rhetorical manner. Maybe there are cars that have been keyed. Maybe there have been houses run up into. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there have been
bushes that's been hidden.
Bushes that's been hidden. There was calls to mamas and exes and all of these things that do not.
Fake Facebook pages, fake Instagram pages, social media pages, stalking people, having other people stalk people. Hey, can you add so and so? They got me blocked. Like all
showing
of those
up at
things.
Jobs.
Yes.
Like, again, this happens. But it's
send a Cash App request just because you blocked. I've seen those.
Oh yeah, Cash App. It's like, sorry baby, I love you.
The request says, I can't believe that you.
So again, this affects everyone.
But we also know that it's serious.
And I may or may not be talking about myself. It don't matter. That's
it
not
is
what we're doing right now.
Yeah, that is what it is. So that's what we're doing. Wait. So, but as always, you know, the Me That's Movie be having all the questions that need answers. So can we get to the questions that need answers for this movie? Because I had several. And I thought that you had too. Where's my phone?
I can't even tell you. I know that I can tell you for sure.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what was going on. I was probably like 6 years old when this came out. So like, I don't know exactly what the tea was, but you can tell something was happening with Martin. Martin was going through some stuff. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, at one point I was worried about him. I was like, why are we still filming this? Can somebody check on him? Like, does he need to go to somewhere? I don't know. I don't get it.
You almost said the word. That's cool.
Well, I was going to say rehab, but I don't know. Is it rehab? Does he need to get these meds changed? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but like something was going on. And maybe they should have prioritized his health over that movie. That's all I'm going to say.
But speaking okay, questions that
I'm
need
not
answers.
trying to be shady. I'm so serious.
Questions that need answers. So I don't know. Was I the only one who wondered? I mean, I know that like things happen, whatever. But how all three of them fell out the window? So at the end of the movie, they all fall out the window. Brandy, Mia, and Darnell all fall out the window, and Brandy is fine. They show her at the end of the movie standing on top of a building, not locked up. Then on top of a building, just like standing out.
But even scratches. Her mugshot was fine. Can we stop playing with her? Literally, the mugshot, I was like, she cute. I don't know. What they doing? She gonna be out in a week.
No scratches, nothing. Mia's sitting on his side, no scratches, no bruises. Darnell is wrapped up like a mummy out of like, he has a head wrap. He has his leg all tied up. How did you get the worst impact of the fall to the fact that they are feeding you juice from out of a little apple squeegee? Like, what happened?
First of all, and I'm going to tell you what I wrote when I said Martin's float game is poor. Do you hear me? Poor. Because the way he was like he almost opened his eyes to be like, y'all still watching? Okay. Like, it was bad. They could have done something different, but here we are.
Okay, so, which I thought was hilarious because it actually made sense to me. So we see Brandy goes out on a date with who Darnell calls the Chicken King. Miguel Nunez.
Mia goes out on a date, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So, yes. So Mia has a date. And the date shows up and says that he owns the chicken place. He's driving his Porsche, and he shows up with a 2-piece chicken thing and a biscuit, and like the little like two cans that are like still in the little in the little wire.
In the cup holder, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he had to have like, you know, a 5-star 4-course meal, but you done pulled up in a Porsche. You told me that you own the chicken place. And you pulled up with a 1-box 2-piece dinner, my dude. Like,
I don't know what the problem is. I don't agree with you. I'm saying, let me be the princess of Popeye's conglomerate. Let me be the heir. I'm bringing chicken everywhere I go. It may not even be a whole bucket, but I'm bringing a box. Hey, you want some chicken? I want you to know.
But you bought a box of a 2-piece, so me and you finna share a 2-piece?
He brought it for her. He's had enough chicken, okay? He had chicken for breakfast. He don't want none of that.
So that better been my box. Like,
yeah, we're not sharing.
We're not sharing this 2-piece. You put up with a portion of, and then this 1 2-piece? Mm-hmm. Nah.
I'm gonna say, hey, so if I want to order something, how do I get your direct line?
Yes,
because let me tell you what I'm not gonna do.
Who be calling to get me my whole box of tenders? Like, cause
thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Why did Martin kiss Darnell? I'm sorry. Why did he kiss that girl like that?
Oh, no, that was
who was it? Was it the shy girl that he was kissing like that?
Yeah, he said that he wanted to.
It was
that he wanted to like wake up.
He had his tongue out, and she was at work. This lady was at work. He was licking this lady down. Why?
He said he wanted to break out of her shy.
That's nasty.
So you used to run from it. Now she like pain. Ain't that what T-Pain said?
No, that's what Ply said.
Oh,
anyway.
That's all the same song. It's cool. Okay, y'all. There's a scene in the movie where I feel like that they were talking about like, you know, them trying to like make the club Chocolate City like more chocolate or whatever. But there's one scene where Bobby Brown is auditioning dancers to dance at the club, and I am convinced that this scene is only in the movie just because Bobby Brown wanted to dance. Like, that's it. There was no other real reason.
Bobby Brown in the movie. You're not gonna use it?
There was really no other real reason for this scene other than Bobby wanted to dance. He was getting it. He was getting it.
I'm saying.
But I was like,
why was still loose? Okay.
Why was this scene in the movie for any other reason than him dancing?
Comic relief, I guess.
I think it really was. Y'all sleep on Bobby Brown. He killed me in movies back in the day. Like,
he's really funny though.
Yes.
Honestly, like, I think he's just a funny person. Like, as a human, he's really funny.
Yeah. So that scene cracked me up. I was like, why is this here?
I mean, I already said this. Why would you go to the club to say no to somebody? To get dressed and get cute and be like, I'm not going to go out with you. That's childish. So
I'm going to let you know what you can't have.
Right. We should have probably knew then. I'm going to say also, didn't we learn that bets always backfire? Always.
Well,
didn't the
we
boys teach us that? Yeah. Didn't
We
they
learned
teach
that
us
in
in
the
the wood
wood.
that bets backfire?
But did it really backfire? Because
and it was Melinda too, wasn't it?
Yes, but did it really backfire at the end of the wood? Because at the end of the day, he still got her, Alicia.
Yeah, but he got beat up. So he got beat up by Stacy the gangster. So
but we say it was worth it. They said, "Hey, was it worth it?" And he was like, "Yeah."
But what else are you gonna say?
I don't know.
You're gonna say no after that.
Did anybody else catch when Bobby Brown answered his phone? He answered the phone, Love Palace. Like what? I guess
It was on brand. I'm gonna just say that.
Okay.
Why was Lynn dancing that way? That's just my question. She ain't never danced before. This is my question. Just because you don't live in the neighborhood or you not from that hood, don't mean like you're not a person in the world. I don't understand. She ain't never danced before? What is this? What is this? What is that? What's that?
That's what she was doing.
First thing. Second of all, she's talking about, I ain't had no fish. Wow, I've never had no fried fish. Like, this is taking me back to my past. Ma'am, what are you talking about?
She was clearly
You move out
disconnected.
and you don't eat anymore?
She was clearly disconnected in that way. I mean, yeah.
To me, red flag. We done. You ain't never had no fried fish? I'm sorry, we can't talk.
Okay, so listen, y'all, and this could be my issues with like trash and like germophobia and stuff like that. So in the scene, so Brandy was clearly like stalking him. Well, not really stalking him because this was also another issue. He literally had the limo driver sitting outside. The limo driver was still sitting outside the entire night while he was inside with Mia, which is also
getting paid good.
Yeah, disrespectful.
He got overtime.
That you got my limo driver sitting outside of your other girl's house. Okay,
He on my payroll, so now I'm paying extra because he working all night.
So Brandy comes and she finds her limo and the limo driver. She finds out where they're at, and then she puts her birthday cake outside of the house. Darnell comes. There are 2 trash cans.
I don't even know why you asking this question.
It just bothered me. It bothered me. There was 2 trash cans. One of the trash cans had a trash bag in it. Darnell grabs the cake and he throws it in the trash can that does not have a trash bag in it. So you just smash cake in the trash can. Who cleaned that out? That's nasty.
Wasn't that his mom's house too? That's how you know he was trying.
No, I think it was Mia's house.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah,
I was just like,
remember
house are they at?
After they went, he went back to Mia's
They
house.
went to Mia's house. I was about to say he even more trifling because he did that to his mama's house. But enough to take the knife and take it out of the cake and then give it back to Brandy later?
Yeah. Which is also saying that you're really trusting because you brought a knife to that girl's house.
I'm saying, are you okay? Are you okay, my dude? Because the woman who was trying to kill you and put a cake with a knife outside your door, you said, here's a weapon so you can kill me later. Cool. Got it.
Cool.
Smart.
Okay.
Question. Do black women, or I mean, why do black people in general think that like riding horses is like the most bougie thing that you can do in your life? I feel like, remember Deliver Us for Eva? She would ride horses. She's like, I ride horses. This is who I am. And she also had the same kind of persona. And now we're riding horses.
I don't know.
Do we just think that's just like a thing that like black people don't do?
I don't know. I know. I love riding horses, but I know other people who are scared of riding horses.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like the same tropes come together. So I'm like, where do we get that from? That like only bougie people ride horses and like that's it. I mean, it is expensive, but still.
I mean, not much like you own the horse. We got a lot of black cowboys down here.
Yeah, but who originated cowboys? Us. Black History Month. The more you know. Okay. Also slavery. Go ahead.
I don't know, and maybe this is my age showing. Y'all, I had never heard of jujubes before.
What?
I had never.
You never heard of them?
Mm-mm. So when I watched this movie and when I watched Part of Justice and they were like that they wanted jujubes and I was like, oh, what is a jujube?
I mean, I never had one, but I've never not heard of that.
It's like a
the
hard
old folks
candy.
do?
Is it a chew candy?
I don't have
like
no idea. I never had it.
It's like a Mike and Ike. It look almost like a Mike and Ike on the box. So like, is it chewy?
Like,
is
Mike
it
and
hard?
Ike's, you got some Mike and Ike's?
I don't know jujubes, but I was like, I like jujubes. And I'm like,
Woo! I love that.
Like something else from my age that I absolutely
No,
loved.
no. I'm not ready for that.
Okay.
I'm not ready for that because I know what you're about to say.
Okay.
The club ain't got no security. Why did they all physically take that man at the thing? The club ain't had no security.
Also, that was a hard scene because, for one, this is once again a scene that you can tell that Martin produced because Martin took down Debo. That's what just happened.
He's a petite man. No shade. But you can tell, like, even Della Reese is bigger than him, which is kind of funny.
So Martin took down Debo like that?
We're going to move on.
Okay. Okay.
And I do want to say R.I.P. to Della Reese.
R.I.P. to Debo, to Tiny Lester.
Yeah, both. But, like, Touched by an Angel used to be the jam back in the day.
Man,
Me and
Harlem
Granny.
Nights. Every time I used to see her at Harlem Nights, you go shoot up my pinky toe. That's my move.
She's just great.
Yeah, I love that.
It's just nice seeing her. I want to save what you're going to say for last, so that's my last one.
Okay. Why? Why is this for last?
Because I feel good about it. I'm excited about it.
I don't understand. I thought like the Jasmine is going to judge me. I don't know about anybody else.
No, I'm not. I'm with you.
They mentioned it in this movie, and I am trying to figure out for the life of me what happened to Fruitopia. Like, when I tell y'all I used to be a Fruitopia fiend, I remember we used to have it in our vending machines when we were in middle school, and I got a Fruitopia every single day at lunch, like every day.
Yeah.
And
that's why we all unhealthy now. Because
probably.
Of all of that.
But I'm like, I think who made Fruitopia? Coke. I think they did. But
Probably.
I don't know, but I'm like, I miss Fruitopia. I'm like, am I the only one who misses Fruitopia?
No, literally, it was in my note too, and I looked at yours and I was like, Fruitopia! I was like, who has memories of Fruitopia? I literally remember it being in, it's not middle school, what was it back there? Junior high. And my only joy in life was to save up my quarters so that I could go get either a Fruitopia or a cherry Dr. Pepper. And I just transported. I wasn't even in 2024 anymore. I was there.
Yes.
Back there. And I was like, Fruitopia, how do I get one? How do I get?
Yes. And I don't like it sounds so disgusting now, which maybe I've hit my Lynn Whitfield and I've like transformed a little bit or just dissociated. But my Fruitopia and those school chicken nuggets, baby, that was like my entire 7th grade year. I would get the chicken nuggets and I would get my Fruitopia, and that was lunch every day. Like
cheese fries. Don't get me started.
Yes.
We can't. We're going somewhere else.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Okay.
But listen, y'all, and we talk about mental health and like whatever, but I really want to know about y'all's Fruitopia memories. Just hearing the word and seeing
bring
Fruitopia,
up anything for you.
Where does it take you? Where do you get transported to? I want to know.
Yes, please tell us. As always, tell us questions that you need answers. Tell us things that we mentioned that you're like, absolutely not. Tell us about some of your times, like blink twice if you resonated with anything that we said about some of these.
Just put an emoji up. You ain't
these
got to
behaviors.
admit to anything.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be specific about the details.
That's fine.
Just put a hand up so let us know that we see you seeing us seeing you.
Yes. So let's, as always, like, subscribe, tell a friend, comment.
Talk to us.
Yep.
But otherwise, yeah.
Stay mentally dope.